Hi, everybody. My name's Lee Honish. Welcome to this week's call, July 7th, 2021. Let me give the quick updates. We got a series of live events coming up. We have a mastermind in Las Vegas coming up. And then we have some live events in California towards the end of the month. If any of these things interest you, go to homeadvocateslive.com. That's homeadvocateslive.com. Or call the office, 833-969-4673. If you're interested in finding out about distressed properties, what's going on with us, or you're interested in joining us, either as an EXP agent or joining the Home Advocate system because you're already with EXP or you're with another brokerage, cool. Go to homeadvocates.io, homeadvocates.io. There's a video and a presentation and all of that. Today, my name's Lee Honish. Welcome and thank you for letting me do this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lee Honish. I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. I started in real estate and banking in 1988. I started off as an asset manager. I actually wanted to go to cooking school. My father told me that was the dumbest thing he had ever heard. And I wound up in the banking and REO industry at about the age of 19. By 21, I had already thrown out my first 100 families. And if you're wondering if that has any deep lasting psychological scars, let me confirm it for you. I did that for a very long time. Most people know me because I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. I had worked there for about 5 years. When I walked into the HELOC division in 2006, much like the market today, I saw the beginnings of a market that was going sideways. I saw the very first short sale. I worked with other banks on short sales and short sale processing. And it put me in a position to know unique things. And I went out and started to teach that to the real estate industry. And over the next 3 years, I spoke to tens of thousands of real estate agents, presenting it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And hopefully affecting and changing the lives of millions and millions of people. I'm actually very proud of the amount of work that we actually did. And I did that for 3 straight years, pretty much until the day that my daughter actually knew that I was missing. She had actually gotten big enough. And I decided mutually with the company that I was working with that time was over between the two of us, and I went to work on my own. And it was during that period as a consultant on distressed properties for people that I was asked a recurring question constantly, how do I get more deals? Which forced me to do what I do best, which is problem solving. You can ask my staff. It's kind of what I do the best. And they're not my staff, my family, the people that I work with. I problem solve. I problem solve exceptionally well. And so I started to design marketing that people could use. During that time, I got named one of the top 100 marketers in America. I was also named one of the most innovative marketers in America for 9 or 10 straight years because I created a marketing product that guarantees a face-to-face result. There are many people on this call. There are many people watching this replay, many people listening to it who have used one of my products or one of the versions of my products that I created since 2010. And they're all based off the same idea, including the same one I'm using today. And it all works on the same concept, which is getting face-to-face with homeowners and assisting them. But understand, I wasn't always like this. This is what many of you may not know about me. I actually am an extremely shy, withdrawn person. In fact, I had this debate with my CFO, Jennifer Tasson, the other day. She goes, "You're an extrovert trying to pretend to be an introvert." No. I'm an introvert trying to fake my way as an extrovert. I was actually really shy, really withdrawn. I was a straight F student at best, almost failed out of a couple of grades. I later found out that I was actually dyslexic. And for a large part of my time in school, I was bullied and beat up. Now, I don't tell you that for sympathy. I tell you that even over the course of the last couple of years, I've had my father die, my mother almost die, my daughter almost had some kind of brain something. I've gone through yet again another messy breakup over the last couple of years, many, many things. The reason I tell you those things, I am still able to do what I do because at the end of the day, I don't let those things draw me back. It is the negative thoughts in our head that keep us from moving forward and being able to connect and being able to go out. We have a very difficult job. You all do. I do. I don't discount it. You have to go out and meet people that are actually in a distressed place. You have to connect. You have to be positive. All of these things that have happened to me over the last couple of years, which are all extremely traumatic and difficult, they haven't held me back. I haven't allowed those negative voices to keep me and hold me back. My childhood, those voices that affect and color the world for so many people. I was just having this discussion earlier. At some point, I just had to accept them, and I did. And I'm very fortunate that I could turn some of them into a skill and be able to help others, help so many other people. And I tell you this today, as you're watching this or listening to me, or you're feeling that you're depressed and you can't get off the couch and you can't get motivated, what voice is that in your head telling you? Who is it? Because I don't believe it's any of you telling that to yourself. If I listened to the voices, I would have never have done half of the things. Everybody told me I was crazy along the way. Everything I've ever done, I've had people tell me I'm wrong. When it comes to the market, when it comes to so many different things. Truthfully, 95% of us are all afraid of the same thing. It's the failure of not being able to provide. Well, you're about to start getting listings from people that are losing a fundamental piece that they actually, it's inherent in all living life forms on the planet. 95% of all people have a fear of being able to provide. But get this, 100% of all living things on this planet, there's a thing about shelter. So if you combine these two and you're not in the right place emotionally, mentally, spiritually, even on some level, how are you going to the front door and going to be able to connect? How are you going to be able to help somebody when you can't help yourself? I'm not telling you have to have yourself completely together. What I'm telling you is you need to be able to put it aside and put somebody else first. You have to be based on service and help people that need help. That is the type of work we do. That is what this is all about, all of you. So to that end, I'm going to give you a solution today. I'm going to do something very rare on this. Over the next 15 minutes, I'm going to cover these three topics. I'm going to cover them very quickly. I'm very excited to try to do this in 15 minutes. I've never done it. I'm going to cover mindset. I'm actually only going to cover awareness and cover a few brief topics. I'm going to show you some quick stuff about marketing and how we do our marketing. And I'm going to do the move section on how I want you to go to the front door. And I'm going to only spend about 5 minutes on each one of these. And hopefully it will motivate you guys who've seen this presentation before or you already work with me to get up and go out and do something today, which was the point of today. So first is mindset, and it is certainly awareness of what the market is, right? For those of you who don't know, on this call, are you listening to it as a replay or as a podcast? What is the COVID-19 eviction moratorium? Back at the beginning of COVID, people weren't able to make payments. And so the banks started giving out forbearance agreements. The government said, please don't foreclose on people. I mean, really, that's really a CDC thing because they didn't want people evicted for fear of a health crisis. They didn't technically have any position to do it, but it happened, and it is now a thing. What it has become over the last year and a half, and I want to make this abundantly clear, they turned off credit, which is the most shocking thing. That's number one. Number two, since they turned off credit, they're not recording any late payments. They're not doing any of that. Number two, which I find maybe equally shocking, is that people took forbearance agreements not knowing that it was negative towards their credit, and it will be reported to their credit. Like it's going to affect them in the future. That's probably the biggest thing to come out of it, right? So what is a forbearance agreement or a loan modification? Forbearance agreement at the end of the day is taking payments and putting it on the end of the term and or increasing the terms of that agreement. Simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it. A loan modification is a recasting of existing terms. There are two types. One is a trial and the other is a full recast. One is real, the other is fake. If you're in a trial loan modification, you are still actively in foreclosure. If you are recast into a real loan modification, you should not be in foreclosure. So if you talk to a client who said, I can't possibly be in foreclosure, I have a loan modification. No, you don't. Simple as that. You can say it with confidence. Same with a forbearance agreement. I think that there are going to be, actually, let me frame that. I know for a fact that there are going to be people out there who fundamentally believe that they don't have to make payments, that they're in a forbearance agreement. Their forbearance agreement had already ended and they're in a lot of trouble. What will happen to homeowners who still can't make their payments or never made a payment? It's estimated 2 million. If you haven't heard it, check it in the archives. You can check the video. It's available on our website at homeadvocates.io. If you're listening to this as a podcast, look at last week's episode. I went through it. It's going to be about 2 million people, bottom line. And when that happens, all the real estate agents who said it wasn't going to happen are going to see this as a lead source, and they're all going to come over here and they're going to start wanting to work with these homeowners without any kind of experience, and certainly without the same kind of empathy that I'm hoping to impart with all of you. So when will it end? This is it. This is the last one. If the White House press secretary hadn't have said something, I would have said they're going to keep pushing it back till January. When the White House officially said, this is it, guess what? There's no way they're going to leave this open for Republicans to turn this into something. It's over at the end of the month. Now, when they turn credit back on, when they start foreclosing, will be any time thereafter, and I don't know how soon or how late. But there are already states that have started the foreclosure process, like Florida, that are waiting for it to lift so they can get back to business as usual. So whatever state you're in, it's, well, today's the 7th. So I would tell you have about 24 days to figure out whether or not you want to work in this field. So how do you get a hold of them? The second is to get a hold of them. And to do that, we call it advocate marketing. It's been called monster marketing. It's been called a lot of things, truthfully. But more importantly, we call it advocate marketing these days. It is the upgraded version of my previous systems. First thing you need to do is target correctly the people you're going after. For those of you who aren't a part of the system where you're just looking for a good place to start, contact title, go to property radar, go to realty track, target people. Now, since credit is turned off, it'll be a little difficult. So my advice would be to rewind the clock and go find people from a year and a half ago that were a year or so late back then. Nothing has changed. They didn't get renewed. They didn't get, you think the bank's just going to let them off the hook? They're still there. They're still in those houses and they still owe money. It's a great place to start. Trigger events are the best place to start to get new leads. The second is to learn attraction rather than interruption. I do not believe in any way, shape, or form in door knocking, cold calling, or mailers. I do not. Derek knows that I know it. I don't like anything that refers to the word prospecting. I believe that you put out good information, people will want to be a part of it. We are in the business, I said this the other day at a live event, I'll say it again here. We are in the business of delivering advocates to the front door. We are the Amazon of advocates, and that's what our goal is, and that's the way we work. If you don't have something to present other than the fact that I can sell your house, then I can pretty much assure you, if you're listening to this or watching this, that you're not going to be able to work in distressed properties. You got to bring more to the table than that. And I'll show you what you have to actually bring. And I fundamentally believe in working smarter, not harder. Our clients do get a notification when clients are ready to meet with them with a scheduled appointment. And here's where that comes from. Recently, I watched a video by a top coach. And on that top coach's commitment video, it said, you need to commit to 40 or 50 hours of hard work per week. I don't work 40 to 50 hours of hard work. Why would I expect that out of my EXP agents? Why would I expect that out of any of my agents? I expect you to work a few hours and meet a few people and work at your pace. It is about working smarter, not harder, not harder and harder. The reason you work harder and harder is because prospecting sucks and it doesn't work. And because there's no other answer out of those coaches for ways of getting leads in a market that's already difficult to get leads in. They want you to go work more hours. Don't believe me? It's a fact. So these are the most successful 10 steps I've ever created. I will go through them extremely quickly for those of you that are interested in knowing, and for my students that are already a part of it. Number one, get your leads monthly, which is why I'm trying to dial you guys all in right now. Step two, order your Avery labels. Is everybody ordered Avery labels? Everybody who's asking for leads? I'm just kind of checking in with all of you that are my coaching students. On those Avery labels, you're going to want to put something. I am working on a Google, an answering service, but you can certainly use Google Voice. You can even get an answering service of your own. We're going to give you 3 different options when you join us, but you can use the Google Voice for right now. Got it? Call center people. 4, customize your label with your call center numbers, right? The marketing keybase gets printed onto the Avery labels, which are Avery 6464 repealables, or you can use the Amazon version. I'm talking to my coaching students right now. 5, prep them all out. Handwrite your APN, last name on the slip. Go to the door. Place it on either the mailbox, the front door, outside of the mailbox. Can I stress this? Outside of the mailbox, front door, or garage door. Make sure to use repealable labels, because if it's a permanent label, you're going to get a very angry call. Call and set up your appointment back with the script that we've given you if you've used the Google Voice. Hopefully, Gina will be here on Sunday, so by Monday or Tuesday, I should have call centers all set up for you guys. If you want to go that route and use the general call center, they will set up calls for you on Tuesdays and Thursdays after 5. There's not going to be any, I can only take on X, Y, and Z. If you want that, get your own call center or use the Google Voice system, but use it correctly. If you want to use the general, it's going to be Tuesday and Thursday after 5 o'clock, which means on Monday and Wednesday, you should put out your marketing pieces. Number 8, go meet the homeowner. Follow what I'm about to tell you, and you will have more success. As simple as that. And last, update your spreadsheet and get information back. I know there are people who've met with people who have phone numbers, emails, and addresses. Send it back to me so I can put them in a follow-up campaign. I do your follow-up. I provide your leads. I didn't really want to be in the business of doing accountability. Derek is toying with it over in the coaching department. And if we have to do that to keep you guys successful and on track, I'm prepared to do it and add it to the system. And last but not least, when they call you, which will either be at the last minute or right at the beginning, there's no in between on this. They're either going to do it right at the beginning or at the very end. Just like that. Okay. They're going to call you. I don't care what they want. If they want a loan mod, if they want a forbearance, if they want to refinance, or they want to sell, they all have ways of monetizing you. Some have ways of monetizing you immediately within a short term so that you can create a funnel that gets you paid weekly, or you can sell their house and we'll show you how to make a maximized return there. So the question is, what do you say at the front door? How do you encounter, engage, educate, and engage? I don't know if I can make this any easier. Derek's been out on the road teaching it, plus some of his secret sauce on the whole topic. I'm going to teach it the way I know it. I am certainly not the man Derek is when it comes to engaging people at all. I learn from him on a daily basis. He is simply amazing when it comes to connecting. I can teach this from my perspective, which is, this is all you have to say to them. And I cannot stress that. I do not care what your experience level is. And this is why it's so important that we have Derek coaching you guys up on this particular topic, because it gives you icebreakers and ways to break down the barriers. But this is technically all I do at the front door. This is all I've ever done at the front door. This is all you need to do at the front door. And that's step 1. Hi, my name's Lee. I'm a homeowner advocate. Are you aware you are actively in foreclosure? With that, I hand them a copy of their NOD, their notice of sale. If you're on the East Coast, list pendants. I take that with me to the front door, at which point they will tell me yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Cool. I work with a homeowner advocacy group. We are here to present the 9 alternatives to foreclosure. Is it okay if I read them to you? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Generally speaking, from a percentage and marketing perspective, most people say yes. Please go ahead. Number 1, so that's my goal. I'm just there to educate them. I come from a completely genuine place, and all I'm going to do is read them the alternatives to foreclosure. I didn't say explain. I said read. So let's go through them. Option 1, well, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, you can do nothing, right? If you do nothing, then I guarantee something will happen. More than likely, title will transfer with or without your help. Probably the bank will foreclose. There you go. Option 2, pay off or refinance. Do you have any money? That's going to be a little difficult. But we have somebody you can talk to. Maybe you can refinance. Have you thought about reinstating? Do you have any money? Do you have any relatives? Do you have anybody that can help you out? No? Okay. 4, partial claim. Again, maybe a secondary position or no money, bad credit. Understand completely. Deed in lieu of foreclosure. Oh, the bank's already talked to you. In fact, I've been hearing this come up a lot. Banks are trying to do deed in lieu of foreclosure quite frequently. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, did you know that that's actually a foreclosure on your credit? It will affect your ability to rent and possibly your employment. You didn't? What are your other options? bankruptcy, I suppose. Do I know about bankruptcy? Yes, I know a lot about bankruptcy, but I'm not an attorney. But if you'd like, I can refer you to one. That is the only person qualified to give you information. It wouldn't be me or a real estate agent or anybody. As a former banker, I have lots of experience with bankruptcy, but that's not appropriate. Loan modification. Yes, I can refer you to an expert who can help you and tell you if you qualify for one. There is a fee for it. But that is a very good option for you staying in your house. Option 8, forbearance, especially the COVID programs. Yeah, again, same thing. It's a good opportunity for you to stay in your house. It has to be prepared correctly, right, by someone who works with the banks directly. I can provide you with that person. There is a fee for that service. They are not attorneys. This isn't some kind of backdoor to be in bankruptcy. We want you to stay in your house if that's what you plan. And the last option is selling your house. Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, if you want to sell your house, that would be an option. I'm personally an investor, and if you want to do that, I would be more than happy to give you a fair market value on your property. I would, but I think you want to stay in your house, and we can address those issues first. I'm not here to buy your house. I'm here to find out an option that works for you. I only have one question, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner. Side note, this is literally $1 million closing line. I just have one question, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner. What? Where did it go? Oh, I thought it was a slide. What did the bank do to you? Feel free to write that down, everybody. What did the bank do to you? For those of you that are coaching students, go back and find 2010 Mastermind in Vegas, Nino Sabroso. It's in the archives. What did the bank do to you? And they tell me. That's it. That's all you have to do. And listen to them. You're done. Thanks, everyone. I got it done by 10 o'clock. That's it. That's all I ask of my coaching students. That's all I ask of anybody. That's all you have to do to connect and engage a distressed homeowner. These 3 steps are proven. They've been proven for the last decade. I'm lucky. Mentors have mentors. Over the last couple of years, the people you see on this screen, people I'd like to call mentor and friends that have fundamentally changed me, people who've known me from my past, I was a much angrier and totally different person. I was something sent from hell and out of a bank to punish real estate agents for ever wanting to work on short sales, I think, half the time. Today, I'm different. And it's certainly because of the 4 agreements and learning not to take things personally. And I recommend to all of you to read this book, especially if you work with distressed homeowners. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a simply amazing book that has taught me many valuable lessons over the last year about not taking things personally or making assumptions. I can tell you this, if you don't believe anything I'm telling you here today, then you're right. It doesn't work. If you believe that there won't be any distressed properties, guess what? You're right. You can ignore it. It won't happen that way. It's up to you. Of course, the godfather of them all, Seth Godin, who wrote Permission Marketing back in the 90s, go read it, where he will tell you, for all of you who are coached by other people, he will tell you back then what the response is of interruption-based marketers. It's always to do more. If a coach tells you to do more that you're paying money to, that it's your fault that your marketing doesn't work, I recommend reading the book Permission Marketing that he wrote a decade before you were told that information, and he foresaw it all happening. And last is the secret. Not to put it in the last position, Rhonda Byrne wrote an amazing book called The Secret, and it fundamentally changed me, changed my life, changed the way I manifest, changed my direction, changed everything. My team is a direct result of The Secret. They have all been put in my path. They all have special abilities. Jennifer's ability at CFO to care and really actually manage money the way she does. Gina's just brilliant. I cannot say enough brilliant. I'm lucky to have her running and doing what she's doing as a partner on this team, along with Jennifer. And of course, Derek. I've never seen anybody who can connect and engage like he does. He doesn't care who the person is. He's able to convey it. He's able to coach it. I have a ridiculously good team. And I'm not here, not on the call, Fritzy Ortiz out in Las Vegas with our e-buyer program. All of this that you see on the screen is because of that. You should all have mentors. You should have pillars. You should have people you look up to. With the few minutes I have remaining, I know that I've gone over. I'd like to introduce you to some updated daughter pictures and my family, and I'll let you guys go. I know I went over. I kind of figured that this would take closer to 30 minutes, but if you give me permission, I would love to show you pictures of my family and introduce my family to you and introduce you that are not familiar with it to the system that many of you might not be aware of. That's Mackenzie. That's the way most of you remember her. I'm very lucky. August 6, 2004. This child is my why. She is my it. She is my entire world. I have put everything else to the side for her betterment. It is very rare when I put my needs before hers. And that's just the way I've operated my life to this day. And I am fortunate. Even on a webinar, I get choked up. That she is an active part of my life. And I hope you have an it and a why and a reason to get up, or a reason, if you're someone on my team, to go to Vegas and watch basketball. Doesn't matter what the rest of the shit is. It only matters. And the people you're helping have exactly the same situation. So always keep it in mind. You are not special and unique. We are all special and unique. 10 years ago, I created a program called Monster Marketing. I wrote a book, became a bestseller for what it was. It is the only distress marketing program out there. Got me featured on a bunch of things. It got me a bunch of awards, and I'm very proud of all of them. But more importantly, it is a marketing system that guarantees face-to-face, and I've been able to do it consistently till this day. We built a brand new website called the Home Advocates Academy page with a step-by-step process, which according to this call, at the end of this step-by-step process that I'm currently showing you, you will now get a certificate on it as of Friday. And someday I will tell you, come and see me at a live event and I will tell you the back end of that story. Everything that I showed you has been laid out in videos with the marketing pieces and how to track it and how to set it up. You get a direct one-on-one coaching program with Derek. I spend about the first 5 or 10 minutes. I think we're going to do one with Richard in a few minutes. I'll talk to him for a couple of minutes, and then Derek will take his time and walk him through the system and walk him through his first appointment. We also do 3 coaching calls each week: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. Tuesday's marketing with me. Wednesday's this call right here. We're recording it. And then Thursday is Derek doing conversion. We also have an extensive library, which people have asked me to clean up and make a little simpler. And I will do that. I will make a very concise, updated package, plus the systems that I created with David Bartels and also my previous systems. I've sort of taken the best thereof and I put it into the main section and broken it down into a few simple folders. And I'm going to update the meeting folder to include some new forbearance stuff. I'm waiting till Gina comes to town before I start doing all that work. So when she wants me to change it, it's easy to change. But all those files are all here and still all available, as well as all the updated materials that we have for today's market, including marketing pieces you can take to the door if you want to expand it, as well as marketing pieces created by David and myself. I absorbed all of his short sale files and his coaching group and taken it over. I am now the largest short sale provider in the United States as well. I now run the advocate system for David in his place, which is why you guys all have sort of a page to still go to. We have an entire community page where you can ask questions in real time. And last, the archives. This is usually where somebody says, but wait, here's a $20,000 or $50,000 bonus when you sign up. The reality is I put all 10 years of my previous marketing in here, and I've kind of broken it down and made it available to you. It's hundreds, if not thousands of documents. Gina just told me today she has still not been able to go through everything, which is why when you asked earlier if I had a certificate, oh, I most assuredly do. It's in the folder. I'll go back and I will change it and I will clean it up to today's standards. Every single marketing piece I've ever created, every single marketing piece that David moved on and forwarded to me are available in there. They're all customizable. We've also created an extensive video playlist. It's like 5,000 hours. It's something ridiculous at this point. It's 14 years of talking about distressed properties. Everything that I've ever recorded, everything I've ever done, every live event has been cataloged and archived. I think you can tell from that picture of my daughter in the center of the screen how far back we're talking. And that's says only a year ago. It's probably when I uploaded it. And last but not least, just for my own personal amusement, I decided to turn you all into authors. There's a big section of articles you can use on distressed properties that are all white label that you can take credit for. More importantly, there are 8 books on different facets of real estate that are all white label books that are all bestsellers that you can put your name on and declare yourself the writer of that book. Go on Fiverr, get your own cover for it. So for those of you wondering, how do you join Home Advocates? You can become an EXP agent with us, and there's a lot of value. Next week, I will talk about that because I finally figured out everything we're going to offer to our EXP agents. And we already have 8 agents with us based on what we're offering right now. But trust me when I say this, they don't even know what I'm about to tell them. And it's mind-blowing how much value we're going to bring to them. Or if you're with EXP already, or you're with a different brokerage and you want to join up, you can invest a one-time fee with no monthly fee at all. Simple as that. I don't do monthly. In fact, I don't think you should be in any program that has a monthly fee. That is my humble opinion. That's right. You'll get leads forever. That means you'll get follow-up forever, for as long as I do it. And there are people that have been with my coaching program for the last 10 to 14 years. This is different than the monster system. So if you're a monster person or an AMS person, I created that whole system for you guys to constantly go and use. If you want to upgrade, if you are a previous student, I will give you an upgrade price. I'm happy to do all of it. And as those of you who might not know it, but my students do, I guarantee my word. The Home Advocate marketing system, much like any other system I created, is 100% guaranteed to get you face-to-face, Zoom to Zoom, or call to call because of COVID, or we will refund 100% of your investment. And the fact that people seem to walk right over, with the close of your second deal with us, like loan mods, forbearance agreements, or you use, which I haven't talked about, our e-buyer program, where you actually get a higher commission return by bringing your listing to us, or the leads that we do with you, right? They go back through an e-buyer program at fair market value. You get full commission, or even a higher commission return rate. Second of those deals will refund your investment in the program. We want to be in a partnership with you. And I think you can tell this from the way that I present these days. I want you to be a part of the family. Most of the people that are my coaching students do feel that they're a part of the family and that they are a part of this, and they've sort of watched my growth, and I'm kind of proud that they could sort of see me be a different person these days. Normally I would be showing a form right here, but I will show all of you, and I will just tell you, those that are listening to the podcast, go to homeadvocates.io. Simple as that. Go to homeadvocates.io. Right on the front page, it says sign up or get educated, right? If you want to join with a fee, click on sign up, not upgrade, people. If you're an upgrade person or an EXP person, breathe for a second here. This is just if you want to pay a one-time fee. Click on sign up and get educated. It will take you to the Academy page. Click on get started. It is a one-time fee of $19.97. Once you click on it, it will take you right on over to the funnel to get started. There it is. It has a video. It has an explanation. It's all done through PayPal to protect you and your credit card information. For those of you that are former students, or you want to join EXP, go to homeadvocates.io, click on meet our team, click on contact. It will bring up our corporate directory right at the top of the page. Send an email to jen@homeadvocates.io or call 833-969-4673. That's Home Advocates.io.